Okay, so di-discuss natin today is about center of mass, momentum, impulse, and collisions. Now, i-discuss muna natin yung nauuna sa kanya, which is center of mass. Now, si center of mass, anong idea natin kay center of mass? Sino may idea about center of mass?
Opo, sir.
Yeah, sige. Ano yung, in your own definition, what is the center of mass? Or ano yung idea mo about center of mass?
Ayan po yung point kung saan po pwede mag-balance yung isang bagay.
Okay, very good. That is a point. It can be figurative na point or wala yung physical mass na doon. Kung saan may state of equilibrium doon sa isang certain system of interest or sa certain object. Okay? So siya yung kumbaga gitna, hindi geometric na gitna eh. Kasi may mga times tayo na hindi gitna yung center of mass. Ito yung point kung saan magbabalance nga siya, may state of equilibrium. Define natin siya. Center of mass is the point where the entire mass of an object can be thought to be concentrated. Okay. Okay. Going back, center of mass, ulitin ko lang, it is a point where the entire mass of an object can be thought to be concentrated. So may tatlo tayong cases sa center of mass. So kung na-open nyo na yung module nyo, makikita nyo dyan. For example, I have a steel ball. Sabihin natin steel ball yan. Or yung sa shot put. Or kahit anong steel ball na lang. Ngayon yung center of mass niya is directly at the center. So nasa gitna. Kasi yun yung circular yung kanyang shape. So nasa gitna yung kanyang center of mass. Concentrated all throughout yung mass niya doon sa gitnang point na yun. Which we call the center kasi spherical yung object. Ayan yung first case. Yung second case natin is yung for example, I have for example, may walis. May walis tayo. Or map na lang, map. Mukha siyang walis, hindi ko alam. Basta yan. Sabihin na natin cleaning material na may stick. Okay? So yung center of mass niya, hindi nasa gitna. Hindi siya nasa gitna. Hindi siya nasa gitna. Nasaan siya? It is somewhere closer to the heavier head. Teka. San sa tingin niyo yung center of mass nitong object? Itong broom na to, for example. Hindi siya dito. Okay, hindi siya dito. Hindi siya dyan. It is somewhere near here. Yan. Kasi kailangan magkaroon ng state of equilibrium, which is itong part na to, this is heavier, di ba? Basa niyo ba? This is heavier, this is lighter. So kailangan, para mabalance mo siya, lalapit ka dun sa heavier na part para makuha mo yung kanyang center of mass. Tapos, we have the third case. So, for example, meron ulit tayong yan. Meron kayong donuts, for example. Nasaan yung center of mass ng donut? Yan, tuloy na natin siya. Nasaan yung center of mass ng donut na yan? Nasa gitna pa rin. Pero, kung mapapansin niyo, no physical mass. or no physical, ayun, tama, no physical mass dun sa kanyang center of mass. Pwede siyang mangyaring ganun. Nasa gitna pa rin siya, dun pa rin magbabalance yung object, pero walang physical na mass. Wala kang makahawakan na mass dun sa center of mass niya. So those are the three cases ng ating mga objects. So ulitin ko lang, first one, yung center of mass natin is directly on the dead center of the object and may physical mass yung object. Case number 2, hindi siya nasa center no object. And case number 3, dead center yung kanyang center of mass pero no physical mass dun sa part ng kanyang center of mass. Okay? Ulitin ko lang. Yung center of mass natin yung gitna ng free body diagram. Yan. Naka-pause kanina na. Okay. Okay, so yan. Recording naman na, di ba? Recording, tama. Okay, so gets naman si center of mass. Ayun lang naman, concept lang naman si center of mass sa physics. Next, we proceed with the next one, which is momentum. But before I proceed with that, let me ask you a question. Okay, magdodrawing na lang muna ako sandali. So I have here, for example, a yeah, for example, may bus tsaka may truck. Sabihin natin bus. Teka lang. Okay, nasa na ako. For example, I have here a 1,000 kilogram bus. Sabihin natin 1 ton siya, 1,000 kilogram. Tapos meron tayong truck na 3,000 kilograms. Alin sa tingin niyo yung mas mataas yung momentum? Nang hindi pa natin dinedefine yung momentum, ano lang to, idea nyo lang. Alin ang mas mataas yung momentum kapag gumagalaw sila ng at the same speed? Is it the bus or the truck? Sabi ni Teo, sabi ni Gelior, yung truck. Bakit? Kasi mas mabigat siya. Okay? So, one factor yon, mas mabigat. Very good. Papaano naman, for example, nagbigay ako ng speed. So, for example, yung bus natin tumatakbo ng 60 kilometers per hour. Tapos yung truck is tumatakbo ng 15 kilometers per hour lang. Alin sa tingin niyo mas mataas yung momentum? Yung truck pa rin ba o yung bus na?
Bus po.
Bakit? Bakit yung bus? Kasi?
Mataas yung, parang mas mataas yung
Mas mataas na yung speed niya. Very good. So, we're taking into consideration two parts. So, we're taking consideration of the mass, yung bigat ng object. Momentum tayo, momentum. And we're taking consideration yung kanyang speed. So, two parts siya. Hindi lang po pwedeng isa yung tinitingnan natin. So, yung formula for momentum is, sabihin natin kulay. The formula for momentum is P is equal to mv. Okay? So, yung P dito, this is our momentum. Yung M will be our mass of the object. Yung V will be velocity. So, yung P dyan is small letter P, small letter P. Kasi yung capital letter P is for power. Okay? So, yung small letter P is momentum. Now, ano yung definition ni momentum ngayon? Ang definition ng momentum, wait lang. Yeah, momentum, it refers to the quantity of motion. Okay? Quantity of motion. Yung dami ng kanyang motion. Actually, ito yung parang mas madali natin i-define is mass times velocity lang talaga. It is a quantity of motion na hindi niya sabi sa buhay. And a quantity of motion. Kasi, yan. So, important daw siya. Tapos, sabi doon sa inyong book is, doon talaga nagsimula yung Newton's laws of motion. So pinakita ni Newton in terms of momentum yung kanyang second law. Hindi talaga mass times acceleration. Okay, pinakasaya niya in terms of momentum. So yan. Ngayon alam na natin yung formula. Check natin kung tama ba yung mga decisions natin kanina. Kung same speed yung ating object, or yung ating two objects, kung same speed yan, the greater momentum will be this one, in track. Pero kung iti-take into consideration natin yung speeds nila ngayon, which is 60 kilometers per hour and 15 kilometers per hour, kung i-multiply natin yung sa bus, we will have 6,000 or 60,000 pala. 60,000 kilometers kilogram per hour. Okay? Yung truck naman, we will have 45,000. So evidently, makikita natin, mas mataas yung momentum ng bus. So kahit mas mababa yung kanyang mass, pero kung mas mataas naman yung kanyang velocity, may chance pa rin na mas mataas yung kanyang momentum. Okay? So ipakita ko lang kung paano pinakita ni Newton yung kanyang second law. Kung paano niya pinakita yung kanyang second law in terms of momentum. Okay? Ano na ulit yung Newton second law? Nga daw, review natin. Ano ang sinasabi ng Newton second law? Newton's second law states that hindi kasi mag-unmute eh. Yan, net force is equal to mass times acceleration. Okay? So, isulat lang natin yon. Net force, it is denoted as F sub net is equal to mass times acceleration. Now, ito yung Newton's second law na alam natin ngayon. Pero pinakita ni Newton sa kanyang book, yung alimutan ko na yung title ng book. Pero doon nakalagay yung kanyang publishing about yung kanyang mga laws of motion. Yung net force is presented as F net is equal to delta P over delta T. Ano yung ibig sabihin niyan? This is our net force. So yan yung sum of all forces pa rin. Yung ano naman, yung nasa taas yung delta P, it is change in momentum. Then yung delta T, alam natin yan, this is our change in time. So sinasabi ni Newton noon na net force is equivalent to the change in momentum over change in time. So ibig sabihin, yung force daw, depende sa pagbabago ng momentum. So pwedeng magbago yung ating momentum. Meron tayong initial at meron pa rin tayong final momentum. Or in this case, meron tayong P tsaka P prime. Mamaya i-discuss ko kung paano yun. Ngayon, i-derive natin kung paano ba yung formula ng change in momentum. So kung yung formula natin for momentum is P is equal to mv, kapag dinigitan na natin siya ng change, delta P is equal to delta ng buong mv. Okay? So ibig sabihin, pagbabago sa momentum is meron ding is equal to sa pagbabago ng mass tsaka ng kanyang velocity. Pero kung ang mass natin, if mass is constant, so ibig sabihin hindi nagbabago. So hindi natin siya pwedeng dikitan ng delta. So ilalabas natin si mass. So delta P will become mass times delta V. So yung velocity lang nagbabago. So pwede natin gamitin yung mga formulas na yan. Okay? So this is if mass is constant. This is pag mass is changing. Okay? So using that formula, we can substitute na pabalik dito. So substitute natin pabalik. Papakita ko lang na mag-equal pa rin itong equation na to dito. Okay? So kung i-substitute natin siya, we will have F net is equal to M delta V over delta T. Oh, nakikita nyo ba to? Pansinin nyo, delta V over delta T, ano yung equivalent value niya? Ano equivalent value niya?
Acceleration.
This is acceleration. So, pwede natin siya i-substitute pabalik. So, we'll have F net is equal to ma. Nakita nyo, equal pa rin sila. So, this one can be used if the given is momentum or change in momentum and change in time. Okay? Kuha. So, yan yung, yes.
Paano po, kailan po naging applicable yung change in mass and velocity? Tapos, kailan din po naging applicable yung mass times change in velocity?
Okay, so
Like,
very good question. Very good question.
Tons.
Ito, nagagamit natin siya kapag nagbabago din yung mass. Okay? Pinakita lang to, actually hindi talaga siya ginagamit dahil hindi naman natin hinahanap. Ito kasing delta P is impulse to, hindi siya momentum. Pero change in momentum siya. Ginagamit itong first equation natin kapag nagbabago yung both mass and velocity. So, in other cases kasi, di ba, may mga times na nagbabago yung mass. So, for example, may truck na nagkikerry ng load, for example. Tapos, nung nag-collide siya, after collision, nabawasan yung kanyang load. So, meron tayong change of mass doon. So, pwede natin gamitin yun in that case, yung ating formula number 1. Pero for example, kung all throughout the problem is hindi nag-change yung kanyang mass, therefore, ito yung gagamitin natin, yung second equation. Kasi constant yung mass niya kapag hindi nagbago, di ba? Gets ba yun? Ito yung may pagbabago, it's either may increase sa mass or may decrease sa mass kasi may change eh. Hindi pa pwedeng all throughout parehas lang siya. Kasi kung all throughout parehas lang siya, ang mangyayari doon, constant yung mass. Kung all throughout is pare-parehas siya. Okay? So, nakita kong paano na-derive itong F is equal to MA na formula na ginagamit ngayon. Na-gets?
Opo.
Okay. Now, let's proceed with impulse. Oo nga pala, nakalimutan kong banggitin. Ang SI unit for momentum is kilogram meter per second. Hindi siya standard. Wala siyang conversion na equivalent. Hindi siya equivalent to 1 Newton. Ano ba equivalent ni 1 Newton ulit? 1 Newton is equivalent to 1 kilogram meter per second squared. Ito ay per second lang. Okay? Sige, screenshot nyo na muna or kopyahin nyo. Ito, this is formula for momentum. Ito yung ginagamit natin kapag yung hinahanap is net force as given tayo ng change in momentum. Ito, alam naman natin this is Newton's second law of motion. Okay? So yan, hinighlight ko. Yung kanyang SI unit, ulitin ko lang, kilogram meter per second. Hindi siya standard. So, tandaan nyo lang siya, kilogram meter per second. Paano siya matandaan? Ito, yung M, this is in, di ba? Kilograms. Yung M natin is in kilograms. Yung M is in kilograms. Yung velocity natin is in meter per second. Yun lang. Pag multiply nyo lang siya, kilogram meter per second. Okay? Next tayo. Next. Impulse tayo. Medyo connected kasi ito kaya sobrang bilis lang ng discussion namin ng Thomas last time. Kasi connected yung momentum and impulse. Iisang formula lang sila ng ginagamit actually. Okay? So yung formula for momentum na ginagamit natin kapag hinahanap is net force, tingnan na natin, F net is equal to delta P. Malabo. Delta P over delta T. Now, for impulse, ang kanyang formula is, ito lang, delta P is equal to F net delta T. Yun lang. Kasi yung delta T, this is our impulse. Impulse is change in momentum. Diba? Nabawasan kayo ng tatandang formula. So, yung formula yung gagamitin natin dyan, ito. Delta P is equal to F net times delta T. So, yan yung isang formula for impulse. Okay? Pwede nyo ding i-substitute yung F net. Ano ba equivalent ni F net? Ang equivalent ni F net is MA, di ba? So, pwede natin i-substitute yon in replacement of net force. So, kapag sinubstitute yon, meron tayong delta P is equal to MA delta T. Yan. So, that's another formula na pwede natin gamitin in finding for the impulse. So, yan. Ayun lang siya. Impulse is the change in momentum. Yung kape nyo na, yan lang siya. Mamaiksi lang yun. Okay? Tapos ng kapehin ba? Malapit na tayo matapos. Okay na tayo kay impulse. Change in momentum lang siya. Change in momentum. Pagbabago lang siya sa momentum. Pwede ko nang burahin? Sige, burahin ko na. Wala nagsasalita.
Nananalig ako sa formula board.
Hindi ka ba na-post sa formula board? Sige, po-post ko na lang din. Okay? Sige, okay mag-alala.
Dinadasalan ko yun.
Madali lang naman yan. Actually, hindi nga to kasama sa sa midterm niya. Hindi ko na sinama para hindi kayo mahirapan. 50
Yung
items
5
lang yan.
lang, sir. Hanggang module 5 lang.
Okay, let's proceed now with law of conservation of momentum. Nababasa ba yung light blue? Okay, so meron din tayong law of conservation of momentum. Last time, diniscuss natin yung law of conservation of energy. Ano bang sinasabi ng law of conservation of energy? Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So, ibig sabihin, energy is conserved. Ibig sabihin ng conserved, kung ano yung input, siya ding output. Yes, Nak. Kilogram meter per second pa rin sa impulse. Kasi change in momentum lang yan. Or, wait lang, let me verify. Oo. Kilogram meter per second pa rin siya. Or Newton seconds. Okay, balikan natin. Kilogram meter per second is also equivalent to Newton seconds. Kasi di ba yung 1 Newton is kilogram meter per second squared? Pag minultiply mo siya ng seconds, ayun siya. Kilogram meter per second na lang. So yung pwede nating unit for impulse is Newton seconds. Actually, pwede din siya sa momentum. Equivalent lang naman. Okay? Thanks na. Okay. So, balikan natin. Law of conservation of momentum. Ibig sabihin lang nito, momentum is conserved. Ibig sabihin ng conserved, tatandaan natin pag sinabing conserved, na ano siya, it is conserved, ibig sabihin ng conserved, kung ano yung pinasok mong energy or momentum, for example, siya din lalabas ng momentum. Okay? So, kung ano yung input, siya din ng output. Ayun lang sinasabi ng conserve. Di ba sa energy, kung ano yung in-input na energy, siya din lalabas mong energy. It can be in other forms. Pero same lang ng output. Okay? So, paano ba ipapakita yon? So, for example, mag-drawing ulit tayo ng bus. Dalawang bus. Yan, dalawang bus. Yeah. So for example, meron tayong dalawang bus. Tapos i-label natin sila in their masses. Okay? So I have mass 1 for bus number 1. And now I have mass sub 2 for bus number 2. If they are moving at in the same along the same axis. So for example, moving sila towards the positive x-axis. Pakita lang natin. Moving sila towards the positive x-axis. Therefore, meron silang velocity na corresponding to their masses. Okay? So, meron tayong velocity sub 1 and velocity sub 2 for bus number 2. Oh. Okay? So, i-explain ko lang dito yung concept ng conservation of momentum. So, sinasabi ng conservation of momentum, kung ano yung in-input natin na momentum, siya ding lalabas ng momentum. So, for example, kung kukumpitin natin yung momentum ng bus number 1, it will be M1 V1 or is equivalent to P sub 1 or momentum of the first one. Okay? For the second one naman, same din. Pero, iba yung kanyang subscript. So, this will be M2 V2. This will become P sub 2. Okay? So, sinasabi ng law of conservation of momentum, pag pinasok natin yung parehas na momentum, same nang lalabas din na momentum. So, i-denote natin yon as momentum, sandali. Net momentum or total momentum na lang. Total momentum or P sub total. So, yung P sub total, sinasabi lang dyan na pag-add lang natin yung mga initial momentum nila. Therefore, meron tayong P sub 1 plus yung kanyang second momentum, P sub 2. This is equivalent to our total momentum. Okay? Kuha ba?
Small letter pa rin sila, Nesser.
Capital P
Small
yan.
letter pa rin. Small letter yan. Basta yung capital letter natin na letter P is for power. Tatandaan nyo lang. Small letter P yung momentum. Okay? So, this will be before, label natin siya before collision. So, sabihin natin, this is before collision. Papunta na tayo sa collision. Transition na to into collision. Okay? So, ano yung magiging momentum nila after collision? So, kung after collision naman, drawing natin sila ulit. Okay, so yun yung bus 1 and bus 2. So yung bus 1, syempre gagalaw pa rin siya after collision. Kasi di ba pag nakita nyo naman yung mga buses na nag-collide, gumagalaw pa rin sila after. Okay, so yan. Label natin sila with their masses. So after collision, same pa rin yung mass nila. Hindi naman nagbago. M2. Ay, sorry, M1. Okay. Pero yung kanilang velocity after collision will change. Now, paano natin siya i-denote? Yung velocities after collision, i-denote natin sila as V sub 1 prime. So, ibig sabihin ng prime dyan, it is after collision. So, therefore, itong pangalawa, V sub 2 prime. Okay? So, yung momentum nila after collision, paano natin siya i-denote? Ganun din, may prime din. So, P sub 1, P sub 1, P sub 1 prime, this is momentum after collision ng first object natin. This is M1 V1 prime. Now for second momentum, ganun din. P sub 2 prime is equivalent to M2 V2 prime. So therefore, yung kanilang net momentum total, P net or P total na lang. P total pala. P total ginamit. P total is equivalent to the sum of P sub 1 prime and P sub 2 prime. So P sub 1 prime, then P sub 2 prime. So kung mapapansin niyo ano yung equivalent values diyan using transitive property, yung P total is equivalent to itself, di ba? So pwede nating equate tong part na to this part, tama? So therefore, meron tayong lalabas na P sub 1, P sub 1 plus P sub 2 is equivalent to P sub 1 prime plus P sub 2 prime. Ayan ang sinasabi ng law of conservation of momentum. Yung input momentum natin will be equivalent to the output momentum. Kuha. So this is before collision. And this is after collision.
Sir, paano
Yes,
nga
yes.
po ulit yung paano nga po ulit yung definition ng P sub 1 prime?
Yung P sub 1 prime is momentum after collision.
So, bali parang yung, ito yung initial before collision. Yung
Oo.
law.
Tapos yung after yung final.
Okay po. Thank you.
Okay. Ulitin ko lang. So, iyan yung using visual representations para ma-prove natin. Ngayon, papakita ko susunod yung using the law of action-reaction. Mapapakita din natin. So, gagamitin natin dito yung dalawang laws of motion. Actually, yung tatlo. Kasi yung momentum is inertia or quantity of motion. Inertia in motion yun. Saan na si Sibog?
Sir,
Yes. ID mo na.
matapos ko lang po mag-CR. Sorry po.
Yale. ID picture makisend.
Saan po?
Sa akin na lang muna. Ako na mag-forward kay Ma'am Tay.
Sige po. Thank you po.
Sige. Okay. So, balikan natin to. Pakita lang natin siya using Newton's third law. Newton's third law. So, ano ulit yung sinasabi ng Newton's third law? Newton's third law states that when a force is exerted upon an object, an equal and opposite force will be exerted on the opposite direction. Okay? So, ipakita lang natin yung in mathematical terms. I-represent natin siya as force number 2. Ito yung in-exert nating force will be equivalent to the negative exerted force. So, negative F sub 1. Okay? Pakita natin. Magagamit natin ito mamaya. Balikan natin yung examples natin. Di ba? Meron tayong first momentum ng first object at second momentum. So, balik lang natin siya. Kung gagamitin natin yung formula for impulse. Impulse naman tayo. Kanina momentum. Impulse delta P. Denote natin as sub 1 para dun sa first object. Will be equivalent to the force exerted ng 1 times change in time. For the second object naman, impulse niya is delta P sub 2 is equivalent to F sub 2 times delta P. Now, ano napapansin ninyo? Ano napapansin nyo? Tingnan nyo to. Tingnan. Yung F sub 2 tsaka yung S sub 1.
Kapalitan yung sir.
I-substitute lang natin yan. Yung sa law of action-reaction. Okay? So, ito papalitan natin yung F sub 2, ha? So, meron tayong lalabas na delta P sub 2 is equivalent to negative F sub 1
times
delta
solution time.
T. Divide natin by negative 1. Kakancel ito. Meron kang negative delta P sub 2 is equivalent to F sub 1 delta T. Ano napansin nyo naman? Equivalent ito
Sa change in
dito.
P sub 1.
Okay? So, pwede natin, using transitive property, substitute natin sila, magiging equivalent to each other. Gamit tayo ibang kulay. So, meron kang delta P sub 1 is equal to negative delta P sub 2. Ngayon, ano yung definition ng delta P? Delta P is equivalent to P plus P sub prime. Okay? So, pwede natin i-substitute yan. So, yung delta P sub 1 will be P sub 1 plus ay, tama ba? Wait lang, baliktad. Pag sinabi palang change, ano ulit yan? Nakalimutan ko tuloy. Final minus initial. So, P sub prime minus P pala. Nawala sa isip ko. P sub prime minus P. Final minus initial. Sorry. Final minus initial. Or yung before and after collision. Okay, so meron tayo P sub prime, ay P sub 1 prime minus P sub 1 is equal to negative P sub 2 prime minus P. Meron tayong lalabas na ay P sub 2 yan, P sub 2. Meron tayong lalabas na P sub 1 prime minus P sub 1 is equivalent to negative P sub 2 prime plus P sub 2. O, lipat natin yung P sub 1 sa kabila, lipat natin negative P sub 1 sa kabila. Meron tayong P sub 1 prime plus P sub 2 prime is equal to P sub 1 plus P sub 2. Same formula nasa law of conservation of momentum kanina. So, yan. Pinakita lang natin, pinrove lang natin na yung in-input na momentum is equivalent to the output momentum using the law of action-reaction. Okay, nakuha yun. So, yung mga mahalagang formula dyan, highlight lang natin ulit. Ito. Yan, ito. Ito ba? Ito. Ito, mahalaga din yan. Mahalaga din to. Mahalaga din to. Yan. So, that is, actually, that is collision. Okay? Proceed na tayo with our last topic na. Last topic na to for first quarter natin. Collision. So sa collision, we have two types of collision. We have elastic and inelastic collision. Okay, so, sorry, saan napunta? Okay, so we have two types ng collision. I have elastic and inelastic. Okay, so sa elastic collision, ang sinasabi lang dito, drawing tayo. This is before collision. Before collision, so yan, pag ganyan sila, going towards each other. After collision, magsiseparate sila or may movement after collision. So it's either ito ipapunta dito, then pag ganun na yung isa. Or pwedeng going outward sila parehas. Pwede yun. So that is elastic collision. Ibig sabihin, internal kinetic energy is conserved. So sa inelastic naman, pakita lang natin yung before collision. So yung arrows natin pag ganyan. Sa inelastic collision, magiging 0 yung after. So, ibig sabihin, magdidikit sila. So, this is before and after. Before, after. So, yan. Elastic collision, ulitin ko lang. I-define natin siya. Internal. Bakit na nasulat ko? Internal kinetic energy is concerned. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng internal kinetic energy? Okay? So, sinasabi lang ng internal kinetic energy, this is the sum of all kinetic energies. So, ibig sabihin, KE sub 1 plus KE sub 2. Ayan yung kinetic energy. Okay? So, yung formula ulit natin for kinetic energy, kung natatandaan pa, is 1/2 mv squared. Okay? Sa inelastic collision naman, it is a collision which the objects stick together. So, yun, nagdikit sila. Okay? Oh. Okay. So, derive na natin yung, papakita ko lang yung derivation ng ating formula for kinetic energy. So, balikan natin yung formula for law of conservation of momentum kanina. Yung P sub 1 plus P sub 2 is equal to P sub 1 prime plus P sub 2 prime. Ulitin ko, yung ibig sabihin ng prime is values after collision. So, alam natin na P is equal to mv, di ba? Tapos, yung P prime is equal to mv prime. So, substitute lang natin siya. Meron tayong mv1 or m1v1 plus m2v2 is equivalent to m1v prime plus m2 ay v1 prime and v1 prime. v1 prime plus m2 v2 prime. So, kung multiply natin sila ng 1/2 both sides, di ba, sa equation, when you multiply on the left side, you also multiply to the right side. For example, mag-multiply ako ng 1/2 dito. Meron tayong lalabas na, i-distribute natin siya, di ba? Distribute. So, meron tayong 1/2 m1v1 plus 1/2 m2v2 is equivalent to 1/2 m1 v1 prime plus 1/2 m2 v2 prime. Anong mapapansin niyo? Yung 1/2 m1 v1, it is formula for kinetic energy, tama? So, pwede tayong substitute na kinetic energy sub 1 plus kinetic energy sub 2 is equivalent to kinetic energy sub 1 prime. This is kinetic energy after collision plus kinetic energy sub 2 prime. So, ayan pa rin yung law of conservation of energy. Itin ko lang. Yes, yes.
Sir, how can you consider kinetic energy if hindi nakasquare ang velocity?
Ay, totoo ba? Wait lang, nakalimutan ko palang gawin. Sorry. Oo nga pala, 1/2 mv squared. Sorry. Thank you for correcting. Kasi papunta din doon yan. Okay, multiplyan natin pala siya ng ano pa. Wait lang, squared natin siya. Teka. Nawala tuloy ako. Sorry. Gawin ko lang to. Oo nga. Kung gagawin natin siya, teka lang, derived. Nawala tuloy ako. Sorry. Ayan yung law of conservation of internal kinetic energy. Ito. Hindi pala siya pwede. Wait lang. Ano ba yun? Copy nyo lang yan. Yan yung formula for internal kinetic energy. Discuss ko lang ulit yung elastic tsaka inelastic. Ayan, M2 yun na. M2 to. M2. Okay. Babalikan ko yun na. Babalikan natin yun. Titingnan ko kung pwede siya or hindi siya pwede. Okay. So, discuss ko lang si elastic tsaka si inelastic in mathematical terms. Okay. So, si elastic sinabi dito, energy is conserved or kinetic energy is conserved. So, ibig sabihin, yung input natin kinetic energy plus yung output na kinetic ay plus yung second input is equivalent to the output. Ayan. So, yun yung sinasabi ng elastic collision. So, in elastic naman, magkaiba siya. Yung kinetic energy before collision will be mv squared. Yung kinetic energy after collision will be 0. Kasi wala nang kinetic energy dito. So, hindi siya conserved. Babalikan ko yung dun sa derivation ng kinetic energy. Pero yan yung mathematical formulas ng elastic tsaka inelastic collision. Questions bukod dun sa derivation ng kinetic energy using momentum formula.